Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the series Billy the Kid, currently streaming on the Epix channel. It caught my attention largely because, first of all, Billy the Kid is obviously one of the more famous Old West legends out there. But more importantly, to me anyway, it was produced by Michael Hurst. I think it was also created and written by Michael Hurst. He's the fellow that is behind Vikings, a series I really enjoyed. And before that, The Tudors, all about Henry VIII. Both of those series were fantastic. I'm sorry to say, Billy the Kid does not quite live up to those earlier efforts, not by a long shot, in my opinion. Billy the Kid, as most of you may know, was an outlaw in the Old West in the late 1800s. He practiced his craft, as it were, mostly in the Southwest, primarily around Nevada, New Mexico, that area. He killed 8 men officially, and possibly quite a few more, until he met his own untimely death at the end of a gun at the age of 21. Everything I'd ever read about Billy the Kid prior to seeing this series said that he was a thief, a lowlife, a cattle rustler, a punk. He shot people in the back. He was just a bad guy. And nobody was surprised and nobody was heartbroken when he ended up being killed famously by Pat Garrett, who was a sheriff at the time. This series takes a very different approach to the legend of Billy the Kid. It starts off portraying him as a young immigrant from Ireland who comes to America with his family, seeking a better life, as many people did. His father died of melancholy, what we now know as depression, though I'm not sure how it killed him, but he sort of wasted away and died, and he was raised by his mother, along with his younger brother, who later died of consumption at a young age. So Billy and his mother, they worked hard in a hotel, serving travelers and whatnot. His mother remarried to a not so very nice guy by the name of Antrim, and that was one of Billy's aliases. He was officially William H. Bonney, I believe that was his birth name, but he was also known as William Antrim, and then later as Kid Antrim, and then of course Billy the Kid. Billy hooks up with a fellow by the name of Jesse, and they become fast friends. And Jesse leads him to some small-time crime that eventually escalates into big-time cattle rustling and whatnot. Ultimately, they get hired to take part in what they called the Lincoln County Wars, which was between 2 cattle barons. It was a fight over property and money and power, as all these things are. They show Billy to be this almost Lord Byron-esque character. He is thoughtful and moody and well-spoken and wants to do good, and every time he kills somebody, he was forced into it. It wasn't his choice, and he had no alternative. He speaks perfect Spanish because, unlike most of the other white people that he spends time with, he's not at all prejudiced. He quite likes the Mexican people. He's quite the ladies' man, but always very respectful. They never show him being a bully or a coward or a criminal other than what he has to do to put food on the table. This is a very, very unlikely portrayal of a guy who is well known to be a complete and utter shit, pardon the language. Pat Garrett, on the other hand, is portrayed to be an untrustworthy turncoat, a cold-blooded killer, in cahoots with the corrupt politicians and land barons of the time, and willing to do just about anything for $1 and to satisfy his own dark needs. And again, this is contrary to everything that I read about Pat Garrett. He was always an upstanding lawman, and he had set his sights on Billy the Kid, who was quite famous at the time. I mean, give him his due. He wasn't famous for anything good, but he was extremely well known in the West. He was his wanted posters were everywhere, and sadly, he lived up to his reputation. I have seen 8 episodes of this series. At first, I thought it was a mini-series and it was going to be a limited number of episodes. But it looks like there will actually be a second season of this. I'm not sure how long they can run this thing out. I mean, we all know how it ends and when it ends. So perhaps there's only a couple of episodes left that haven't been released yet. I'm not familiar with the schedule of it, or if there'll be a full second season. Billy is played by Tom Blythe, who also appeared in The Gilded Age, which was done by the fellow whose name escapes me, but he did Downton Abbey. Interestingly, a lot of the actors in this show are from Australia or the UK, and it's filmed in Canada. So the whole Old West thing is definitely imported to the United States. It's not a bad series, but don't expect any kind of historical accuracy. You won't find it, unfortunately. I would give this probably a 4 out of 10. A 6 for is it worth watching? Yeah, but a 4 for any kind of close to reality. Anyway, as always, thanks so much for watching, and please click like and subscribe. Take care.